Cleanup Day on March 2021. So the agenda for this workshop is I will make a short explanation on environmental impact of the digital awareness. And after we will talk about the 2020 digital cleanup experience from Estonia, from France, and from globally. And after we will have a session together to work to see what's your expectation and your experience plans for digital cleanup in your country. And we will talk about 2021 digital cleanups plans, especially at the world level, and a session of question and answers at the end, if you have any. So first of all, I will introduce you about environmental impact of the digital. So just to a quick overview of who I am. Basically, I'm an IT professional. I am certified for sustainable IT in France because we have a certification on this topic in France, and I'm a consultant for labelization of IT company who want to be labelized on that. And I'll set up my own company 3 years ago to treat about this topic of environmental impact in companies to reduce their impact. And also I'm volunteering in an organization like GCI and like World Cleanup Day for 3 years now. And since last year, I'm the head of the Digital World Cleanup Day in France that we called Cyber World Cleanup Day in France. Quick reminder, I'm pretty sure you already know everything about this sustainable development, but sustainable development is about environment, social and economics. And I like this graph to remind us that economic is part of the society and the society is part of the biosphere. And everything needs the biosphere. We need, as a human, we need the biosphere to live, and the biosphere itself needs the biosphere to live and to progress. And it's very important to take care about our environment to go further and to have a better future. Talking about better future, with the United Nations has been working on the to set 17 global goals for 2030 to treat about different topics to make a better world. And the graph on the right is remind us also that this topic is dealing with the 3 levels of with the biosphere, the society, and the economy. Today, we will treat the most likely about the biosphere line, or about the environment, and the impact of the digital on this topic. So is technology a solution? Most of the people think that technology is a solution because they will save the world, they will help us to do some economy, they will make us to bring some new technology to capture the carbon and everything. But in fact, technology may be the solution in some case, but is creating other problems in other case. For example, the technology will help us to manage better the electricity with the smart grid, to manage better or to distribute the electricity closer to where it's produced. But in other hand, the technology is needed lots of data center with using lots of energy. And so this is on the environmental aspect that we will treat today. Another aspect is that the technology can help us for services, for platform like Uber, to get better services, to get better access to something. But in other hand, this same type of platform, the same type of services may give some social issue with the work condition of the workers for Uber. Another aspect is that internet has been created to share knowledge. Wikipedia is a very good example of sharing knowledge, free access for everybody. And this is one of the beauty of internet, and it's very good thing. But in other hand, in the world, there are many countries that doesn't have access to internet. This is what we call the digital divide. And but even through in some countries, like in France, but I'm pretty sure it's everywhere in the world, inside countries who have very good connection, we can have some area that they don't have access to proper internet. So it's not linked to any type of specific of countries. Also, the technology can help us to facilitate work, to bring us new services with the artificial intelligence, can be good things. But in other hand, this technology can bring us some new issues with the data privacy, with the data collection, and maybe the manipulation of the data to manipulate the election, for example, with the Cambridge Analytica issue. So today we will focus more on the environmental impact of the digital. So the first thing is that the digital has a big impact on the climate change because the digital today is representing 4% of the greenhouse gas. 4% is the equivalent of the aviation before 2020. So even though in last year the aviation was not really working, we can compare this greenhouse gas to the aviation and to consider that it's 4%, which is quite huge. And the bad thing in some way is that it's going very exponentially. And in 2025, if we continue to progress, it will be like 8%, and which is the equivalent of the automobile industry. On another hand, the technology is making lots of waste. For example, in 2020, some studies have shown that we produced 53.6 million of tons of electronic waste, which is a lot for the world. But also the major issue for this electronic waste is that we don't really know how to recycle this product. We don't really know how to reuse it when it's too old or it's broken. So it's lots of tons of materials that will just finish in the land and or will be burnt, but they will never be reused anymore. Also, the internet today and all the digital industry is consuming the equivalent of 10% of the global electricity consumption, which is a lot of energy. And in the same time, this energy, so 10% of the global energy, is for data centers mainly is powered at 80% from fossil fuel, which is very bad for the environment, very bad for the air pollution, very bad for the climate change. In the meantime, the water aspect, to build one computer, we need 1.5 ton of water to extract the minerals from the ground, and to deal to waste these minerals. We need lots of water to use it, and on top of that, there will be 22 kilos of chemicals that will be used to manage with all the components, and most of the time this chemical product finishes in the water, which makes that the water is not drinkable anymore. Last but not least, to extract all these minerals, this is what we call rare metals, rare minerals, is that they are rare because they are very small amount for big amount of ground, and we need to take a lot of rocks to get out of a very few amount of these minerals. For example, we need like the equivalent of 1,200 tons of rocks to extract the equivalent of 1 kilogram of silver, which is one of the 50 minerals that it's needed to create a smartphone. And at the end, if we make an average, if you want to build a computer from 2 kilos, you will need the equivalent of the 800 kilos of rocks extracted just to build one computer. So just to remind that basically from a life cycle aspect, from the extraction to the end of life of the product, for example, like a smartphone, we will use minerals from almost from A to Z to the whole life of the life of the smartphone or life of the electronic components, and we will have like pollution almost at every step of using our smartphone from the extraction to the end of life. And this is the sum up of the presentation at what's other impact, but it's very important to know that building a smartphone and to use it is having a very big impact on the environment. And the main issue also is that we have more and more devices on the market, which increase the impact on the environment. So what can we do to solve, not really solve the issue, but at least to reduce our environmental impact of the digital, to try to work on these global goals, to try to make it better? So the first thing is to extend the life expectancy of your equipment. So how can we do it? The first thing to how to do it is to keep your digital equipment as long as possible. Try to maintain it to keep it in life. Most of the equipment are changed not because they're not working anymore, but because they are too slow to work, or they are too full of apps to work. So we change the equipment not because they're not working, but because they are too slow. If you really need to change your equipment, go for a second-hand equipment, reconditioned equipment that have been refurbished and is not a new one. Also, you can have a look on labels. That most of the equipments are labels now in Europe, but it's always a good way, good to check if your equipment, when you buy a new equipment, that has been done in the best condition with the law that we have today and with these labels. Also, when you have really starting really to change, you can repair it, you can upgrade it, and you can use it maybe for other way of working that need less resources. And at the end, if you really need to give it away, just give it to special companies, profit organizations that are specialized in refurbish this component and maybe to make it reuse to other people. The second point is to reduce our impact, the environmental impact, is to limit our energy consumption. So how can we do it? Is the first thing and easy thing is to put your computer to sleep when you don't use it anymore. So there's some automatic setups that can be put on your computers, and when you leave the computer, it's automatically to sleep. Turn off unused equipment like your TV, like your internet box when you are sleeping. Most likely you don't need the internet box diffusing Wi-Fi or anything, because you're sleeping, so you're using anymore. Limit your streaming video consumption, because when you are watching a streaming video on internet, you are using the data traffic, you are using data centers to keep the video good quality, to make sure that you can watch it from A to Z without any cut. And the fact that you need all this infrastructure to consume the video make consuming lots of energy from telecom and from data centers. In the same idea for your files, if you store your files rather than putting them on a cloud, you don't need to use all this telecom and data center infrastructure to keep your files. So if you keep it locally, you will consume less energy. And last but not least, if you clean your unused data and your apps, it's coming back to the keeping your phone as long, or phone or computer as long as possible, is that it will help you to keep it clean, and maybe to avoid some updates of the apps, or make it longer, because you will gain space on your phone. And the third way of reducing your impact is just to turn off your phone and do something else, like connect to people and nature. Invite your life when it's possible. With it's not easy at the moment, so we most likely need to do it through the phone with video. But when it's possible, just turn off the phone and get to people in real life. Go for a walk, a run in a park, enjoy the nature, read a book, play offline games with your family, with your friends, or do some gardening or some DIY, and just turn off your phone. So now we will experience from people who run already digital cleanups, and we will start with Elo from Estonia, who run it with Telia.
Hi, hello. So my name is Elo, and I'm representing Estonian biggest telecommunication company Telia. So the one who is to blame for this 4% of CO2 pollution. So what we have done with the digital cleanup is the experience that we engaged our employees, and we also went public with a campaign to introduce this problem to Estonian organizations, to individuals, and to invite them to take part in it. So I have a couple of slides as well, which I will be sharing. Just a second. So do you see my screen? Do you see my slides?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, interesting. Okay. Just a second. Now?
Yeah, now it looks promising, yes.
Oh, okay. So Kevin already talked about the problems that the digital waste is creating to the environment. But in addition to the problems in environment, this waste is also creating problems regarding our digital information, our privacy, our safety online, and it's also creating a lot of stress because we are living in in the era where there's so much information that we cannot make any sense of it when it's not structured. And 95% of the companies in different surveys have stated that the unstructured data and information is a big problem for them. So right now I'm representing the view from a company side. So actually we started the cleanup because of the efficiency problem at the first place. So we started it 3 years ago. And at the first year, we addressed, yes, the topic of efficiency, how to be more smart and structure your files. But the more we explored the problem, the more we got to understand that it's impacting also environment. And during the past 2 years, we have talked about this problem from the lens of the environment. And what we have done in addition, we have asked also our clients to be part in it. So I'm trying to get to the next slide, but sorry, how can I get to the next slide? Just a second. I think my computer is freezing. So maybe I show it in this way. It's not that beautiful, but still. Okay, so we did a campaign to talk directly to our B2B, so business and private clients. We asked them to join it, used social media. So this campaign just ended yesterday. So it was the big day in Estonia where we had the campaign. And how we talked about the problem was giving examples. So what does it mean if you do like 10 selfies? What does it mean if you watch Netflix series for 2 hours and so on? And we translated this into CO2 footprint. And for us, it was, of course, a big part of our internal communication. So we talked also about how to use emails and if to use them. So to direct people more into the file sharing platforms and also talking about security while deleting your files because it's quite a big risk. So it's more connected to the devices, for example, the phones. When you want to get a new phone and will sell or give your old one to a company who is collecting the phones or just another person, then you have to be sure that you have deleted all the data in it, because in half of the cases there's still personal information left in the phones. And we had the landing page where the companies and the individuals could sign up for the digital cleanup. But what we do in addition, so it's not enough to do a one day campaign. As we are a telecommunication company, how we are solving the problem in addition is that we are now having one data center which is working on solar panels. We started to sell also the refurbished phones. So this is just the beginning, I would say, because we see that people really expect to buy used phones, and also reducing the footprint from our own operations, so starting to use electric cars and so on. And what we see challenging in this digital cleanup is that this problem is quite unfamiliar. We do not know who are the experts, whom to turn to and ask the questions, because there are a lot of questions connected to the problem, and scientific information is maybe not that easy to find, and it's not that much explored topic. And it's very challenging to measure the problem and the impact, because it is really depending on so many different issues, like in what country you are living, what kind of energy you are using, where are your files, what kind of servers they are using, and so on. So a lot of questions regarding that. And how to turn from one campaign into everyday habit. So this digital cleanup has to be a part of your digital life basically every day. And how to talk to people about that, because people really do not like to be told things. So we have to show them the benefit they are getting. So finding a right balance and a tone of voice to talk about it. And what I mentioned already, these security and privacy issues that we see more and more connected to this digital waste and digital cleanup. And not only phones and computers. So the different devices and equipments using internet and your data, these are increasing enormously. So for example, we have to consider soon how to delete the digital footprint on your watches, in your cars, in your refrigerators. So everything that is connected to internet is also connected to that problem. And for us also was a nice question, not nice, but a thing to think about, how to create less digital waste while talking about digital waste. So this is concerning also this marketing campaigns and responsible communication and marketing that we are doing to talk about environmental problems. And what are the results so far? So yesterday we had this all over Estonian campaign about digital waste, and we asked organizations to be part in it. And compared to last year, we almost doubled the number of organizations who joined. And in them there are so many big companies and big organizations that I'm quite sure that we kind of reached the awareness peak, or people seem to be start talking about this, and we got really good media coverage. So there's a great way to continue with it, and next year we already have in plans to do it together with World Cleanup Day. So we have done in different days this kind of activities, but yes, in Estonia we want to do it like once a year together, and I hope that from this cleanup that you are going to have global is also teaching us how to do it more bigger the next year. So this is all from my side regarding the slides, and maybe you already have some questions to me.
How many gigas did you delete this year?
You mean me, myself, or
this one too, but in Estonia in general?
Oh, I have to check the last number, but I think it was 25,000. I'm not sure, but it was bigger than last year, I think, yeah. But I can confirm it later. I will check it up from the website. But I think we will also have this data coming in, because people will do the post registration, and they will mark it also at the beginning of next year and on Monday. So if they have cleaned on Friday, then we will still collect the numbers on Monday. But we'll see. So I think the most important thing is that we are talking about this problem, and we are talking about the other problems which are connected to this digital waste. So maybe this awareness building is the most important part in it, and how to talk about your digital waste footprint besides your other activities. I think for us it was a great way to start the dialogue about your environmental impact. So it was just an easy way to connect the problem with our company.
Thank you, Willow.
There, just to comment, there are 2 comments in the chat room as well. I just read them out so that this is also part of the discussion here, that it's like affirmation that media is, that the digital cleanup is really like media attractive topic, and but it's a challenge how to increase the participation of volunteers. Hello, I don't know if you have any comments on that, or.
I think yeah, it's challenging. Yeah, of course, it's a sexy topic for media, but how to make it relevant like each year? So what is news about it every second year? I think this is a challenge for us as well. Right now, I think we've found this security angle that was kind of new topic, but during next year, yes, we have to invent something in addition. But how to get people on board? I think for companies, it's really a topic of way of doing work and efficiency in internal communication. How to avoid email sending and these kind of things maybe are the triggers to companies. So how to be smart digitally and hold your information securely, because this is so connected. So through the benefits, I guess, is the way forward, as always.
Okay, thank you. So we'll continue. I will share my experience of organizing the digital cleanup in France last year, and so in France, basically, we decided to launch we started to talk about digital cleanup in January last year, but it really started to take place during the lockdown from March last year, and basically we did it. We decided to make an association between 2 non-profit organizations to organize this event in France. So between the World Cleanup Day that you all know, and from France, and we make an association with the Institute of Sustainable IT, which is leading this topic of environmental, social, and everything of the impact of the digital in France. So we decided to launch this project that we called the Cyber World Cleanup Day, linked to the cyber security, cyberspace, and everything. And but this is basically the digital cleanup, World Cleanup. So we launched a website to let people can register on the website and show where they were organizing events of the Cyber World Cleanup Day. And after on this website we gave lots of tools for organizers. So the first tool that we gave is to really to organize this digital cleanup. So the way that we set up it in France, to trying to make it attractive, to try to make it lively, to clean the data, is that we invited all the organizers to organize an event. So it can be online event, but can be a physical event when it was possible. And during this event, the organizer were invited to make like a 15 minutes brief to explain what was the project, to explain what was the main issue of the digital environment, and after to prepare to check what was the status of the phone, of the computer, what was the actual amount of data in the phone, and after they were asked to to guide the participants to clean together. So everyone was on his phone, everyone was on his computer, but we were doing it together and with someone who can guide them, to explain them how to manage their emails, or to manage their phone, or where to get the options. And at the end of the session, it can be 1 hour or 2 hour session, we were asking everyone who was participating to check again what was the status of the phone, to get the amount of data that has been deleted, and to make the equivalent of CO2 that they saved in some way. We took the measure from the National Environmental Agency, which has set in France that 1 megabyte is the equivalent of 19 grams of equivalent CO2. And so people can know more or less how much CO2 they save by cleaning their data. Also, we were giving some tools to organizers to communicate. The most important thing for us was to raise awareness, because cleaning the data is the action, is a way of making start the first step. But the main topic for us was really to raise awareness about this topic of environmental impact. And we did organize also some webinars, so to help organizer to share practice, to share tips, to set up a better digital cleanup. Basically, on the feedback that we had some press coverage on the TV, on the national newspaper, and also we had lots of reporting through the social media. Some people have did like a live event, with physical event after a breakfast. Some people did it online, and they just shared all what they did through the social network. So we had quite a lot of press coverage on this aspect. On the numbers, so for the first edition that we officially launched the website in June last year for September, so which is basically 3 months. So in less than 3 months, we had 107 organizers that organize more than 150 digital cleanup everywhere in France. And most of the participant type were companies. Like 70% of the participants were as a company, which are the main population of the Institute of Sustainable IT as a member. And we have few citizens who participated, few schools, and a non-profit, and some city also participated to manage to make awareness in their city. At the end, for this first edition, we had almost 6,500 people who participated from the data that we collected from the sum up, and we deleted a bit more than 22 terabytes of data, which is quite a good number for a first session. And after we made some comparison to give some hints to people to compare with the number of kilometers in car or equivalent CO2 of their deleting. Now I will leave the word to Anneli for the global aspect.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, I'll let you share your slide because I lost a count.
So first, thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Elo, for the presentation. It was really, really interesting. Telia Digital Cleanup Day, what they have organized already 3 times. That was actually also inspiration to to organize a digital cleanup day globally. So when we started to organize a digital cleanup day, or actually why we organized it, there was mainly 3 reasons. The first reason obviously was COVID-19. So we agreed with Earth Day Network that we are going to organize great global cleanup during Earth Day, but of course this was not possible to do it. So we start to find the way what we can do on the 22nd of April without moving the home. And the digital cleanup day was exactly what is possible to do without moving from the couch. So the COVID was the major kickoff of the digital cleanup day. But of course, if you dig into digital world, you can see that the digital world has much more impact on the environment than people used to think. So we used to think that the digital world is something separately from the physical world, and everything what we do is basically no footprint. But it's not true. So whatever we do in our smartphones or computers, everything produces CO2. So if we make pictures, if we send emails, if we stream videos, everything produces CO2. And people don't realize it's very often. And maybe the third reason why we decided to organize the digital cleanup day was also that it's very much connected with the physical cleanups. And what I mean here is that if you keep order in your digital devices, it also applies to your real life. So you also start to act responsibly in other areas. So you are not trashing anymore, and you consume less. So it's very much connected with your brains.
Johan, you want to add something as well? I said that
so
Johan wants to talk as well about
the digital cleanup day was organized only in 7 days, and all the network was engaged. And I'm really glad that many leaders in our network they joined the campaign personally. For example, here are Kate from Ghana, Nima from Iran, Gafar from Nigeria, our dear president Heidi from Estonia, and so on and so on. So many leaders gave their faces to the campaign to raise awareness about the digital cleanup day and ask people to join. We didn't register their people, but based on feedback, based on media coverage, we believe that there was hundreds of thousands of people who participated on 22nd of April and deleted a lot of data. But actually, the digital cleanup day, as Elo already said, it's not about the numbers, but it's more about raising awareness of the impact of the digital trash. So the main challenge during the campaign was, of course, we can ask people to delete the trash, digital trash, and we can also say that it has impact on the environment. But it's really hard to understand it, because if we are talking about CO2, if we are talking about kilowatts, or if we are talking about the megabytes and gigabytes, it's really, really abstract, and the people don't see it, and people don't feel it or don't smell it. So how to make it understandable? This is the main challenge during this campaign. So what we tried to do was that we tried to show the impact of the digital trash with the activities or items which is already familiar to people. For example, how many hours the oven should be on if you delete 1 gigabyte amount of emails, or for example, how long you can iron your clothes if you are not searching Google.
Right now in another session.
So also we compare the digital trash with the airline industry, which is for people understandable, and everyone understands that the airline industry is really polluting and creating a lot of CO2. So we showed that, for example, if all British people send or refuse to send out the one email, for example, thank you email per day, then we can save as much as 81,000 tons of CO2. Sorry. So if I refuse to send out each day one email, so it's we can save as much CO2 as 81,000 flights from London to Madrid. So even for me, it's sometimes it's really hard to explain the impact. So of course, again, all these numbers are still maybe not so scientific, because I believe Elo also said that there is lacking the scientific background information for the digital trash, and it's really hard to measure the real impact of the gigabytes or megabytes. Therefore, we are not want to argue about concrete amount of each email what you refuse to send, but more about raising awareness of the impacts. And we are also not asking people not to use internet at all. Of course not. We are just raising awareness that the people start to think about it, and also start to act responsibly in the digital world. So now is not going further. I don't know. Doesn't go away anymore.
There seems to be some kind of animation or video going on. Maybe you can just switch off the presenter view.
Okay. Now I managed. So so the deleting the digital trash, then there we also have to be really simple and understandable for people. So what we suggest people to do was mainly six things. Here are, by the way, I borrowed from the French colleagues the banners, how to join the Digital Cleanup Day. And what to do, for example, if you want to join the Digital Cleanup Day, was the first thing was that take a look to the photos and the videos. So we used to make photos from one situation or one person many times to catch the perfect moment. but very often we are not deleting the duplicates. So during the digital cleanup day, would be really great if you do so that you delete the duplicates. Of course, you can do it right away after taking the photo, but the digital cleanup day is good way to gain this habit. And the videos the same way. So very often we are making the videos which is done by emotion, and already next morning it doesn't have any emotional value for us. So the second one, what we advised people to do was to go to the email box and check what kind of emails to get, and unsubscribe all the newsletters what you don't need. So we used to delete the emails what we get, but it's better to unsubscribe. In this way, we also refuse to get emails, and we reduce the moving the files and reduce CO2 in that way. So also we advise to delete old accounts. During the 22nd of April, we got a lot of feedback about that people found then the old accounts and new old Gmail accounts or whatever accounts, and also related picture galleries and so on. So if you don't need these accounts, it's also better to delete them, because this is also security issue. So if you are just keeping the accounts there, which you are not controlling, then it's these definitely security threats to you. And finally, apps and programs. You have definitely a lot of apps and programs in your computer, in your app, a smartphone, which you actually don't use. But at the same time, they have traffic in the background. So they are updating themselves constantly and so on. So it's better to delete them if you don't need them. Yes, and the digital cleanup day was also added to the Võrk cleanup day this year. And the digital cleanup day was really perfect for the countries who were in lockdown, and also for the target groups who were on the higher risk of COVID-19. So, but however, we understand that in order to explain the impact of digital trash to people, it can't be the part of the Võrk cleanup day, but it deserved a separate day. And therefore, we decided to organize it on 20th of March 2021. And this also allows us to communicate the topic more to people, because we already realized that the topic is really, really complex, and it's really, really important because the digital trash is increasing really rapidly. And this is really time to think about the digital hygiene. So I hope that in a couple of years, deleting digital trash is as normal as washing your hands at the moment during the COVID time. So if you want to know more about the digital cleanup day, so here is also the homepage for that project. So come and visit, and let's delete digital trash on 20th of March. Thank you.
Thank you, Anneli.
Thank you, Anneli. There's a comment related to this deleting files, that usually by default settings, deleted files will be moved to the trash folder and not deleted at all.
Yeah, That's true. So
I see people are nodding that.
Yeah. So if you delete trash, you also have to delete the trash bin. It's obvious. And of course, if you delete the trash bin, it doesn't mean that it's deleted. So my good friend said that the digital trash is like a plastic. It never go away from the world. So it's always there. If you're already uploading whatever file to the cloud, there is hundreds of copies of this file. And if you even delete copy and copy of the copy and maybe even copy of the copy of the copy, it's still thousands of copies somewhere, and it's there until the end of the world.
Thank you, Anneli. So now we will start to talk about 2021, even so Anneli already started a bit, and we will give the word to Silvar, who is planning some things about 2021 with at the world level.
Yes, thank you. Wait a second, I will share my screen so everybody. So yes. So do you see it? Okay, I saw some nodding. Okay, I am Silvar Laasik, and I'm creative director of Zavod BBDO advertising agency from Estonia. And I have been with World Cleanup Day partnering from the 2016. So where we started to work out all this communication part all together. So yeah, let's move on. And my today topic is called Mindfulness and Digital Exorcism. So if anybody wonders now, do we have some kind of a black mass going on here, then no, this won't be. But I'm talking more about the creativity and how can you come up with inspiring creative campaign, because the topic is that usually with the World Cleanup Day, we come up with some creative idea, and then we give it out for everybody to use and modify. And this is because we in Estonia, for instance, don't know exactly what can work in Japan, in Guatemala, and so on. And I would put it this way, that creativity, what it means is this is the art of saying right things in a new, meaningful way. And what is meaningful is actually really important, because it has to make a sense, and it has to make a sense in a right way. So, and as Anneli very perfectly brought out, that the data is really abstract, and people can't really kind of associate with that. And this is where maybe doing things in a bit different way can give you much better results than just talking about the gigabytes and megawatts. So, and this is for a very simple reason, because people tend to relate to more the communication. They have some kind of emotional connection. So this is why you see a lot of emotional campaigns going on around, and so on and so on. But for doing this right and put your communication through, first you have to, of course, understand and know who are you talking to. Then the second very important thing is, if you have understood who you're talking to, is to understand the cultural context and the reference points where what you can use to actually make communication to them. And finally, it's always necessary to find a relevant connection, because different people tend to find different things relevant. So maybe somebody is more to fun ideas, maybe somebody is more to down-to-earth ideas, and so on, so on. But we are always doing it in a way so we find some insightful questions first that relate to this topic, that can really give us some good ideas how to communicate with people. And I would say that the first question we came up with is that what if you were acting so stupid in offline world as you do it in online? So let's say that you keep those stupid copies everywhere, yeah, but in real life. So you never actually take out your trash, you never throw anything away, you take some stupid letters, you multiply them, photocopy them, and you keep them all triple backed up in other rooms and your hallway, in your big warehouse somewhere else, and so on, so on. So maybe with visualizing this one, you can also push through the digital cleanup idea that just let's show how your life would look like if you act like that. So yeah, this is one, but this is still a kind of serious way to talk about this topic. The second question, for instance, we brought out was that how do people keep ourselves clean in this mindfulness area? Because as you can see, what actually maybe it's more like a big city thing and young urban people thing, but all this mindful this practices that, as they say, that helps to keep them sane and so on. How can it be related to this one? And if there is one thing that has really kind of taken off, has really become popular, is a detox. So so think about those people who are happily talking on the Facebook that, oh yeah, I make this detox program and have this one, and then I eat this and no this and no. So I'm always cleansing myself. And but maybe it's time to talk about this digital detox. By chance, this is the practice when you spend 10 minutes every day on your devices and practice this digital cleansing. So you eliminate these digital toxins that occupy your systems. So as they say, that I would say that your device is your temple. So, and the question number 3 is maybe this kind of a rhetoric questions. What happens to deleted files? Will they go to heaven? And sad answer is no, they don't have this luck. They don't go to heaven. And this is why you need the file exorcist. I will tell you about file exorcist in just a minute. So you need the file exorcist because your deleted files, they don't go to heaven. They unfortunately are trapped in a hell between existence and death. So their physical bodies are tortured in servers, and they never get their final rest as they deserve. So maybe it's time to practice some digital exorcism by everyone now. So, and help to free the souls of emails and files and backup data that you don't need anymore. So let them go, let them rest in peace. But about this last one, this is really insightful in this way that I noticed that Anneli had this nice picture of herself on this matrix background. So everybody is relating to this digital world and everything that's bad going on there with this specific movie. And this is a huge cultural hit, and movies are always the best sources of the creative references. And as we know, the scene was about that we are living in a matrix that has already reloaded some 6 or 7 times. So, but maybe the idea would be coming up with new film that the matrix backup deleted. So how long can you just update this matrix from this backup, delete it, and everything goes better. So maybe it's a way to go with this idea as well. So Yeah. And but I have presented here 3 possible ideas that everybody is free to use, and what we might like to do in this digital cleanup campaign. So over globally. So you can open the website menti.com and put in this number you see on the screen, and vote for which idea you think that can be best used in your own country, in your own region, and for the people you are considering as a target group yourself. So yes, I see that we already have some people voting. So open the website, and let's say that there will be 1 minute for doing this. So let us know which one you would pick. So as I said, that the first one, the stupid copies are more to serious people. The digital detox is clearly targeted to young urban people who is also working in this big data companies, telcos. And the final one is definitely the edgy one, the file exorcist. You can be sure that it generates some buzz if you do it. So we have votes, and let's see. Yes, seems like a stupid copies, the serious way was favorite, and detox and the file exorcist also have their votes. So yeah, thank you for voting. And as for the final word, I would say that if you happen to somehow save anything from here, then it's time to delete this, because this presentation online is also part of this digital trash. So yeah, thanks.